Logical day, everyone. So, without much ado, let's start with the reading of the editorial today of June 20, 2023 of the Indian Express. Landmark Journey. Of course, all of you know the meaning of the word landmark. Let's see what journey we are talking about. So, the visit to Washington this week by Prime Minister Narendra Modi promises to lay the foundation for a long overdue and comprehensive transformation of India's relations with the US. So long overdue मतलब हो जाना चाहिए था अब तक, and comprehensive means all encompassing, vast transformation of India's relations with the US. A series of intense and high level consultations in the last few weeks has finalized far reaching agreements ranging from transfer of jet engine technology to investments in India's fledgling semiconductor industry. And from innovations in 5G and 6G telecom networks to higher education and quantum computing. And this was an example of comprehensive here transformation of India's relation, right? That means it is right across the sectors. The optics of a state visit. PM Modi is only the third foreign leader to receive this honor from the Biden administration, and a private dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Biden will underline the new personal bonhomie between the two leaderships at the highest level. So, this is what he has been invited to, and this indicates the bonhomie, that is the relation between the two leaderships. Here it is. So, PM Modi will also address a joint session of the US Congress and join the ranks of select world leaders who have done this more than once. In his earlier address to the US Congress 7 years ago in June 2016, he underlined his commitment to build a solid strategic partnership with Washington by declaring that India's historic hesitations in engaging the US were now over. In engaging the US, that means his relationship with the US, India's relationship with US, it was on a hesitant note first, but now in 2016 he stated that those hesitations are now over. So Modi was probably referring to the great opportunity that came India's way when his predecessor Manmohan Singh was at the White House in July 2005. Singh's summit with President George W. Bush saw the unveiling of the historic civil nuclear initiative that opened the door for ending India's prolonged conflict with the US and the global system on the issue of nuclear non-proliferation. Now, see, the mention of this incident when Mr. Singh met George W. Bush, that was in 2005. So, understand the chronology here. In 2005, they met, right? And it was the unveiling, that means uncovering, revealing of the historic civil nuclear initiative. ये हुआ था. Historic is something that is very strategic, very important, very significant, right? But then this was the beginning and went on to 2016, where Mr. Narendra Modi came up by declaring that India's historic hesitations in engaging the US were now over. Here it is. They opened the door for ending India's prolonged conflict with the US. यहाँ से उसने शुरुआत की conflict को खत्म करने की, जो कि अब तक चली, and the global system on the issue of nuclear non-proliferation. It also provided the basis for a substantive strategic partnership. It was pitiful to see the UPA government make such heavy political weather of an agreement so beneficial to India. That means this was the unveiling of the initiatives, right? It was like opening the door, he said, no, for ending the conflict. But then that was not taken ahead, right? They did not walk in that direction through the door, you can say, right? So now it had to be taken up. So It is saying that it was pitiful to see the UPA government make such heavy political weather of an agreement so beneficial to India. Hesitations of the UPA government, however, underline the deep ambivalence of the Indian political elite towards the US. So the deep ambivalence means they were in two minds. MBS too. To his credit, Modi has broken out of that defensiveness and embarked on a self assured Indian engagement with the US since he took charge 9 years ago. His visit this week is a culmination of this new Indian clarity and pragmatism in dealing with the US. So, from this paragraph, we can understand that India, or rather, Mr. Modi has been the first person to address the US Congress twice, more than once, that is. Right? Second point that they came here was the strategic partnership with US, stating or he was declaring that the hesitations are now over. When the hesitations are now over, the second part of the paragraph or the middle part of the paragraph is mentioning how it had started. Was not taken ahead by the UPA government, but now the present government is breaking out of the defensiveness and going ahead or embarking on the self-assured Indian engagement. That means now they are coming up with cementing their relationship better, which the previous government did not do, though it had opened the door for such a relation. Right? So understand there's a change in the chronology there. 2016 पहले mention किया है what he did, what Mr. Modi did in 2016, what was done before that in 2005, and then coming back to what was done in between 2005 and 2014, and then what he did now, he's doing now in the present time 2022. Right? So the different spans of time are being mentioned here, or you can understand it chronologically. That is what I said. Then, meanwhile, the rapidly changing external environment, marked by an increasingly assertive China, created new imperatives for both Delhi and Washington to elevate their strategic partnership to a higher level in the political, economic, technology, and military domains. So, if India and US were building on their relations, here China was raising its head. Now, when China is raising its head, that means the India and US relationship needs to be stronger, more, what you can say is it's stronger or rather more intense. वो करना ही पड़ेगा उन्हें. Why they would be doing it sooner than later? Okay. Why? Because China is raising its head. So China is becoming increasingly assertive, and therefore it created new imperatives. Imperatives means they have to do it. So something that is mandatory, तो वो imperatives हो जाते for both Delhi and Washington to elevate, that is to increase, to raise कर सकते हैं. तो जो लेवल है, जिस लेवल पे वो पहले कनेक्ट हो रहे थे, रिलेशनशिप कर रहे थे, स्ट्रेटेजिक, they need to now increase that level. Why? Because China is also doing the same. So India plus US have to do it. Their strategic partnership to a higher level in the political, economic, technological, and military domains. The substantive outcomes from the visit will be widely seen as a response to the new geopolitical dynamic in the Indo-Pacific as well as the changing global economic order. Substantive means considerable. The plans for deeper cooperation between Delhi and Washington, however, are not about containing Beijing. China is too large to be contained. Containing means limiting. Now, because it is raising its head, then India and US have to come together at a higher level. But this is not only for containing Beijing. अब उसे रोकने के लिए सिर्फ आप दोनों के रिलेशनशिप को स्ट्रॉन्ग कर रहे हो, वो नहीं है. Both India and the US seek a normal relationship with it. What Modi and Biden are trying to build is a balanced security architecture in Asia. Getting to a multipolar Asia, it turns out, involves building on the many natural but long neglected synergies between India and the US. So they have to be multipolar because if Russia is one, if China is the other, then India has to be there as a very strong candidate in the Asia. The new and deeper connect between the US that Modi and Biden want to herald will inevitably transcend the near term geopolitical calculus and bring the two societies closer. So, at the end, also, in the beginning, also, they were talking about the strengthening or the cementing or the building up of India and the relationship between India and US, that relationship becoming stronger, right? So the reason being this, but the reason of China is only an indication of how the relationship is becoming stronger and that too soon. Strategic to hai say they came here that there has to be a synergy between India and USA if they come up with this multipolar Asia. So they are giving reasons of why this relationship is so important, why this relationship is becoming so crucial, why this relationship is to be forged. Right? So the whole passage, you can understand it as an argumentative one. They came up with the relationship, they are saying that it is becoming stronger, and then they are giving you the reasons for it. So let us see the main idea that the author has given us is that its visit to Washington is a culmination of a new Indian clarity and pragmatism in dealing with the US. Pragmatism means being practical, being rational. Culmination is the end result, right? It is not the immediate result. वो cause and effect वाला result नहीं है. It would be like many things together and how it came to the ultimate thing that is the culmination. And कई सारी series of things happen and then what the result is that is called the culmination. So we have the words now. A few words, yes. Elevate, optics, historic, assertive, bonhomie. I'll give you elevate. We know we just wrote it. It was raise. Elevation होता है. ठीक है. Trigonometry का भी क्या होगा? The angle of elevation होता है. If you remember that trigonometry a little, right? Optics is related to the sight to see what is viewed. Historic, right? See, historic is different from historical. A historical monuments means from history, old, past. Historic means significant, crucial, something that is momentous, creating history. ठीक है देखो momentous word मैंने दिया तो momentous means creating history similar to historic, creating history. Now again the confusion. Momentous is different from momentary. Momentary is being only for a moment. Fleeting जिसको कहते हैं. ठीक है? Be very careful in noting down these words. And I hope I am assuming that you are noting down the words. Right? So, momentous is a confusing word of momentary. दोनों के meanings लिखती है. Another confusing word that I'm giving you is historic and historical. Right? So, historic a meaning significant, important, crucial, critical. आप significant और crucial लिख सकते हो. Right? Assertive means to strongly state. Assert. Right? Assert मतलब अपना ही ओपिनियन है जो उसे आप फिर से strongly दे रहे हो. Bonhomie is the friendly nature, the friendly ambience, whatever you can say, right? So now I have one root word here that is bon, and bon means good. So we have bonfire, bona fide. Okay. Then we have bonus, we have bonanza, we have bon voyage, We have bon viveur. People who live a life of luxury is bon viveur, and the same thing will be bon vivant. Same meaning. they दोनों बराबर हैं, एक जैसे हैं, right? So you have quite many words with bon, और notebook में note कर लेना, और भी मिलेंगे और लिख लेना, right? So you have one word here. Unveiling is revealing, uncovering. Fledgling is a company. See, fledgling companies होती हैं जो कि छोटी छोटी अभी भी start हुई हैं, right? So they are just in their what do you say, initial stages, right? So a new company, fledgling is not very old. It will be new, and it would be like actually it is just taking birth. You can say the एक new enterprise होगा, आप वैसे ही लिखो बस. That will be easy. A young company, you can say, right? Not many years have passed. Substantive is something that is considerable. Substance होता है जिसमें. फिर ambivalence है. So ambivalence is like giving equal value to both the sides, right? So you can use the word equivocal, right? So now I'll give you another prefix as well as root. So you have ambi. Ambi means both, right? And val means, I'm writing it here, so kindly follow when I'm writing from here and there, no? So val, you can relate it to value, right? So I'm circling it also. तो आपको रूट वर्ड कौन सा दिया? बॉन है, एम्बी है, वैल हो गया, ठीक है. अब एम्बी का बोथ होता है, सो यू हैव अनदर वर्ड दैट इज एम्बी, और एम्फी इज बोथ. सो एम्बीडेक्स्ट्रस, right? A person who is capable of writing with both the hands. So ambidextrous. And then amphibian, ये भी होता है because amphi also means two. So ambi means two, and amphi also means two. So that is amphibian, right? Ambidextrous है. अब ambivalence का मतलब हो गया you are giving equal value to both the sides. That is you're speaking equal voc. यहाँ पे voc हो गया, voc. Voc means to speak or voice. राइट. सो इक्विवोकल में इक्वी वर्ड भी आ गया, तो इक्वी इज इक्वल. ये तो इजी है, यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट, बट यू विल गेट मेनी वर्ड्स विथ इक्वल, राइट? सो डू वन थिंग, यू हैव द वर्ड इक्वी, उसमें ऐसे लिख लो इक्वी, हमने उस दिन किया था ना, एंड मेक अ सन डायग्राम अगेन. सो यू विल गेट मेनी मेनी इक्विटेबल, इक्वेबल, इक्वानिमस, इक्विवोकल, इक्विपॉइस, इक्विडिस्टेंट, इक्विलैटरल, बहुत सारे वर्ड्स मिलेंगे, तुम वो सब लिखते जाना. आई एम नॉट राइटिंग इट नाउ, राइट? बट यू कीप थिंकिंग एंड यू विल गेट. इक्विलैटरल ट्राइंगल्स किए हैं ना तुमने. इक्विडिस्टेंट होता है, इक्वेटर किया है हमने ज्योग्राफी में, इक्विनॉक्स होता है, राइट? ग्रेजुअली व्हेन यू थिंक यू विल गेट ऑल दीज वर्ड्स. So imperatives is something that is compulsory, mandatory. Culmination, as I gave you the end result. Pragmatism is being rational. तो pragmatism है, ISM ending word है, तो rational, rationality, right? You have again here ISM ending word. So ISM ending word होता है एक suffix which means ideology. Your school of thought जिसको कहते हैं, the way you think, that is called your school of thought. That is ideology. So ISM ending word, I'll repeat what we have done today. ISM ending word है BON, born है. एम्बी है, AMBI वाला. एम्फी भी होता है. वैलेंस का वैल है, वैल्यू. एंड देन इक्वी इज इक्वल, यहाँ पे हमने लिखा. ISM ending word आइडियोलॉजी है. दिस इज व्हाट वी आर राइटिंग. एंड वोस इज वॉइस और स्पीक, एंड वैल इज वैल्यू. So I think so enough for today, and I hope you are noting them down. Thank you, and have a logical day ahead.